Onto the sauce. Okay, I have a little bit of fresh. That's not fresh actually. It's red pepper flake here, about a quarter of a teaspoon. Just a little bit for the sauce, depending on the acidity of the sauce. We'll check it out with this. We'll throw some in for some spice if the sausage doesn't give me what I'm looking for. Okay, over here I have some chopped garlic as well. That's just for the sauce. I have some fresh basil over here with a couple of bay leaves. I have some fresh grated. Now, this is Lacatelli cheese. Okay, this is a sheep's milk cheese. So that's what I use to put into the sauce. Now, maybe some of you guys are raising your eyebrows so far. One, with the ingredients. Two, what I do with them. All right, so that is sheep's milk cheese. I do that, and I do Parmesan cheese in the sauce as well. Gives it a great flavor. My grandmother always did it. We're not veering off of her recipe. This is what I've always done. All right. Over here we got a little bit of salt and pepper. We got a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. We got a little bit of olive oil right here. We're going to fry the meatballs in olive oil. And then back here I have some chopped onion. That is also for the sauce. Now, obviously there's going to be an explanation to this. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. You guys are patient with me. Love what you guys are doing on my channel. Getting great views. Love where it's at so far. So thank everybody that, tunes into this. So, on to the sauce. Now, you can use whatever you want to. I personally like the San Marzano tomatoes. Okay, you see me use it in other recipes. You can use La Valley tomatoes as well. Now, you see here that it says DOP. Okay, there's a reason why that is up there. Okay, because these tomatoes are they're right from Italy. They're grown in a particular part of Italy with so much sunlight each day. The soil is a particular way, and it actually gives you, I don't know if I could turn this around. Let me see. Okay, so right here, if you ever wondered that if you're actually using true, authentic San Marzano tomatoes, here's how you find out. Okay, it's always going to have this seal on it right here. Okay, it's always going to have that. That's the DOP label. And this is the number. It's an authenticity number that these are canned by. All right, so they're the two things. This is what we got today. These are restaurant, there we go. They're restaurant size cans of tomatoes. Okay, again, good ingredients. These here you can get at, if you have like a little Italian store or something around you, they will probably sell these. These go for $12.59 a can. They're 90 ounces. Okay, so if you're used to using the smaller cans of 28 ounce, these are about 3 cans to the 128 ounce can, obviously, if you do the math. Okay, so that's about all I got to say right now. I don't know, let's see if you guys can see these. These tomatoes in this can are absolutely beautiful. All right, we'll talk a little bit about the tomatoes as I sit here and do what I got to do. Okay, so right here, I've just got a glass bowl. I'm not going to pour these in. What I am going to do is I'm just going to take them by hand. Look at how gorgeous they are. And these smell, you could taste a big difference. I can't explain how these taste. And if you've never had an actual DOP tomato, I urge you to at least try it once. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. Okay, we're squeezing these tomatoes. I know it might be a little time consuming opposed to what maybe some of y'all are used to, and you don't have to use this. You use whatever you want. Okay, I do have an extra can of these standing by, so I bought a total of 3 cans, and we'll see how much that this makes. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish doing these, and as soon as I'm done doing this, if you're wondering why I keep putting my hand over to my left, I'm just in the top of the tomato. Sometimes there's a little where it hangs on the vine, right there. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but you can feel it with your finger. Sometimes it gets a little hard. I don't like that in my sauce. That's just me. So I take that little piece and I throw it away. And that's what I'm doing, is just putting it over by the garbage disposal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish squeezing this can. This is all we're doing. And I'll be back with you guys as soon as we start doing the sauce. We're going to start doing the sauce first. All right, so I am almost done squeezing these tomatoes. Now, it just does take a little bit of time, but, it's worth it. Good food takes time. This is, I gotta say, this is really good food here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, how red this sauce is, but this sauce is, and it smells like, it almost is like you can just take a spoon and eat this right now. That's the difference between these tomatoes and, maybe something like a Tudoroso or a Hunt's or something like that. Plus you get to play with your food, right? You get to play with your tomatoes. All right, so the tomatoes are all broken up now, and then there's just a little bit of liquid in here. So we just take it, we do all this by hand. Okay, just like that. Okay, and this now is going to obviously become our tomato sauce. I have 2 of these bowls. I opened up 2 cans. I'm going to get the sauce going, see if that's going to be enough. I think it's going to be, but if not, I'll open up another can. We're going to put in some olive oil, enough to, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Okay, because we're gonna saute some. Well, we're gonna start with put a little oil in. And this varies on pan, right? So in the recipe, in the description below, I may not have a actual how much of olive oil that you put in this pan. Okay, but it's usually enough, however much that you get. I'm sorry, I was doing something else here. You usually, if you coat the bottom of the pan, usually that's what you want. I probably used a quarter of a cup of olive oil. Maybe I'll put a quarter of a cup and then maybe something in parentheses after that. Okay, we're going to wait for this to heat up a little bit because we just did it. I got my 2 bowls of sauce over here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you? Yep, you can. I got my 2 bowls of sauce over there that are already squeezed. And we're going to get going with the onions, and then my house is going to smell real good today. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and I will see you in a second. All right, so our oil's hot. We're going to just dump in some chopped onions. Now, you can also, sorry about that. You can also slice your onions too. You don't have to chop them like this. Okay, it's up to you. It's how you like it. It's how you like it in your sauce. Okay, so you could chop it like I do, or you could slice it, and I've done it both ways. It just depends on the mood on the day, I guess, and this is the mood today, is chopped onion. All right, so we're going to sweat this down. We're going to let this go for a little bit. I know it looks like a lot of onion, but once it sweats itself down, it won't appear to be that much. This is about one, I'm going to say it's like 1 large onion that I got, medium to large onion. We'll write that in the description as well. Okay, I'm going to let this saute down for a few minutes. All right, so I gave this about 5 minutes to cook the garlic down. You can see that the onions are also getting a little bit brown around the edges. Nothing wrong with that. It's all about timing here, right? You don't want your onions overcooked, but you want your garlic cooked, at the same time. That's why we added it in sections. Okay, so that's about that. What we're going to do now is we are actually going to just take our beautiful sauce, and we're just going to dump that right in. Now what that's going to do is that is actually going to stop the cooking process for the onions and the garlic. You hear it just simmered right down. There's nothing going on now, right? Okay, so, and we're going to dump in the other bowl as well, just like that. Okay. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Okay, now I am going to turn around and I am going to squeeze that other container. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this exactly where this is. And then I'll be back to show you. I'm just going to squeeze the other can of tomatoes really quick. We're going to dump those in because I do think I need a little bit more sauce for this. And then we're going to add the other ingredients and then we're going to move along. Okay, so we're going to keep the heat on medium. A little bit less than medium, I guess. Hey, just so you guys know too, if you cook this in a stainless steel pot like this is, okay, these pots get really hot. So if you're simmering something or you're just trying to boil something or you're trying to just do something as a simmer, remember, these get hotter than a nonstick pan as far as how quick it gets hot. So you might want to back your temperature down just a little bit, just so it comes up nice and even. Then when you get your, your simmer, your oil, bubbling a little bit, then you can adjust it from there. Don't hit these with a lot of heat. These pots are tough if you don't know how to cook with them. Okay, just a little tip there. Figured I don't want you guys. I just got done adding a half a can of water to this. Okay, and it's hard to say, the consistency. It's more of the drag on the spoon, right? Yeah, I've been doing this for so long. It's just, or making this for so long that you just automatically understand, people that don't make it, you wouldn't expect to know. That's why I'm here to try to teach and be as thorough as we can. Okay, so at this point now, what we're going to do, we're going to still do a medium heat. You don't want this to burn. If this starts burning, it's going to ruin your whole batch of sauce. Not only are you only going to be out your dinner and whatever meals you're going to prepare with this later on, but you're going to be out a lot of money. It's a lot of money to make this. But if you make like a single batch, it's it is what it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm using a measuring cup just for recipe purposes. Usually I just put handfuls of cheese in. So this is the sheep's milk cheese. This is the Lacatelli cheese. I'll put this down in the description already. We're going to do half cups at a time. Okay, so we'll start out with a half a cup like that. We're going to put in a pinch of salt. Now I know I'm going to need more salt afterwards, but we're going to just let this get rolling, and we're going to put in a pinch of pepper. Okay, we're going to throw in, I don't know, we're going to throw in like two, 3 bay leaves. We're going to throw in a couple of fresh basil. Oh, gotta love that, right? Okay, yeah, just like that. And we're going to we're going to mix this up, and I'm going to see what it looks like once I mix it up. Again, it's one of those things where once it's mixed, you know it. You know exactly what it's supposed to look like. Same thing with the meatballs. The meatballs are, well, which is going to come up just here in a second. The meatballs are the same thing, right? Okay. Hold on to that. Look at that for a minute. I gotta grab some oregano. Okay, and we're just gonna put probably just maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of oregano. We're gonna mix this up, okay? And then we're gonna spin around where my other ingredients are. And we're going to take some of the Parmesan cheese now. All right, we're going to put some Parmesan cheese in it as well. Okay, we're going to stir this up. So we got 2 cheeses in here. We got the Locatelli cheese, the sheep's milk cheese, and we got some Parmesan cheese in this. And we're going to mix it really, really good. And then we're going to bring this to a little bit of a boil. Bring this up slow. I'm telling you, don't burn this. Bring it up nice and slow. It's worth the time to wait on this, okay? All right, I'm going to bring this up. Okay, so we're back over to the sauce. The meatballs just got done. Like I said, what I'm going to do is we do this all the time. I remember my grandmother doing this when I was a kid. We're going to take, I know you can't see it, it is off camera, but we're going to take just a spoonful of the grease that the meatballs were frying in, and we're just going to add that to the sauce, just like that. It's not. This isn't no big deal here, right? All we're doing is we're trying to add a little flavor to it, and it does. So we'll mix this in. This sauce has been simmering for about good 4 hours now. Okay, so it's cooking down. I want to explain. In case you were wondering why I don't do something specific here. Now, I explained this in another video that I did. I actually forgot what video it was, but it's where I did a quick marinara sauce, and this ring on the pot. A lot of times people say, why don't you, where am I? I'm over here. Yeah. Why don't you erase that ring? That ring tells me something, and what that tells me is how far down and how much water that I've actually distilled off this batch of sauce. Okay, so if tomorrow you want to like recook this again, you know, you could fill it up to the sauce line and then you can distill it again. Basically, that's what you're doing. You're drawing moisture off this. Doesn't matter what you're drawing water or moisture off of. That's what you're doing. You're distilling it. So that's why we leave that ring of sauce. It does not give a burnt taste to the sauce by any stretch of the imagination. It's only there for a guide, okay? Now, once this sauce is absolutely completed, what I will do is probably transfer some of this sauce to another container or pot and separate some of this sauce out, because this is a big restaurant pot right here. This pot is huge. But I just want to show you guys. Look at this. Look at these, what these tomatoes are. I don't know, the light is kind of tough. But anyways, this is really, I mean, these are really red tomatoes. Now, I did do some adjustments here off camera. I will link them in the description below. So you have to click on that. I did add some more sheep's milk cheese to it. I did add some more Parmesan cheese to it, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of oregano, not too much, just a little bit. I do that at that stage before I put the meat in. Now, I do go a little light on the salt as well, because when we put the sausage in, you know, everybody knows sausage has got salt in it, so you don't want to overkill the sauce. Right now, I have this exactly pretty much, you know, like I said, you know, it's not the same all the time, because it's the tomatoes, right, that could have more acidity, not acidity. Now, I'm going to address that too while I'm here. As far as the acidity goes, do you put sugar in your sauce or do you not? Here's the deal with that. If you ask somebody that's professional about, do you put sugar in your sauce or don't you, here's pretty much how this goes. Okay, I don't think there's really any in between here. The only reason why people put sugar in their sauce is to cut the acidity. If you cook your sauce down like I am right now at a low simmer, and you cook your sauce for an hour and a half, the acidity is gone. There's not going to be any more acidity in it. As far as you could cook this for 3 days. For the most part of it, you're not going to draw any acidity off. Then people use a little pinch of sugar to balance that out if the tomatoes are too acidy, right? Okay, these tomatoes here don't seem to be too acidy for me, so I never put sugar in my sauce. I don't think I've ever done it. What I do is I just cook it longer. I distill it down a little bit further. If I have to go another 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, That's what I do. I personally don't like a sweet sauce. I love the taste of tomatoes. That's what I want to taste on my pasta. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong if you add sugar. That is the story behind the sugar. So hopefully I put that to rest for a lot of people, or people that might just want to know about that. Okay, so I'm going to let this cook for just a little bit here and make sure all the flavors are blended exactly how I want them. And then I'm going to start adding the meat. I'm going to put some sausage in here, some meatballs in here. The meatballs came out, oh, phenomenal. Okay, so I'm going to let you go for a little bit, and we'll be back. And I'll drop some meat in this, and we'll just simmer this. We'll keep simmering it, and then it'll be done. We'll be ready to eat. Okay, guys. This sauce has now cooked down for approximately 10 hours. Okay, and you can see the consistency of it now, opposed to how watery it was before. This is what I'm talking about drawing all the water off of this, okay? So this is what it looks like now. This sauce is done. I let this sit overnight, so it is actually the next day now. All we're going to do now is we got a pot of boiling water over here and a little bit of pasta for a serving, and we're going to drop some pasta, and as soon as the pasta is done, we are going to have some lunch. Okay, so once again, this is what the pot of sauce and meatballs looks like. I'm loving this recipe because I've done it so many times. So hang in there. It is a long video, I know, but you know, it is what it is for this one here. You got two recipes. You got a sauce recipe, you got a meatball recipe, and this is old school. So that's what we're going to do. Drop some pasta. We'll be back with you as soon as that's done, and we're going to plate this up. Okay, so I'm back, and the pasta is done. I have it already sauced just to save a little bit of time. So what we're going to do now is we're just gonna give this a quick plate, garnish it just a little bit, and that's going to be it. Okay, this is very, very nice. So we're just gonna give it a little plate. So this recipe takes a little bit to make, but I'm telling you, this recipe is the only thing I can do is I hope you guys make it. That's all I can say, because this is like really, really delicious. Okay, so the only other thing that we're gonna do now, and you can't forget it, right? Because that's what this was about, basically, was the sauce and the meatballs. So we gotta get the meatballs in there, right? And we're gonna go with like a little bit of a half a link of sweet sausage on the other side, right? Okay, so let me grab a spoon. We're just gonna grab a little bit of sauce like this. Just like that. Okay. Okay, push that aside. What we're going to do is we're going to give it just a little bit of, going to give it a little Parmesan cheese, because, you know, that's what we have to do. And we're going to just garnish it with a little bit of parsley, just like that. Always got to make your dishes nice, right? Okay, so that's it, and that's it. Okay, guys, if you guys like this recipe, I'm really hoping that you do. If you guys like this, this is my recipe for sauce and meatballs.